Hey, dog people. All I hear is excuses from our city saying that they've already provided enough dog parks, enclosed dog parks, and they will not allow us temporary use of land that is not being built on. It has been sitting vacant since 1991, and it's a perfectly good usable area. We all dubbed it Aurora Park. Now, it is not monitored by bylaw. However, I wanted to provide further information on why dog parks that are enclosed do not work. So these areas, the soil is overused. Urine, fecal matter, it causes a fungal outbreak every single year, and the vets will back that information up. It's highly transmittable risk of parvo and kennel cough in those areas because generally a lot of those dogs are not licensed or vaccinated. Sadly, people that generally use the larger fields, they take precautions to make sure they have flea and tick and the proper vaccines. Unfortunately, we're being told that the city provides fenced-in areas, and that should be good enough for us. However, it's not. Generally, in these closed-in areas, people go there because they do not have recall and they do not have training. So there's a lot of issues with humping and aggressive biting and really, really horrible territoriality, where many of these dogs see that fenced area as an extension of their backyard, and it creates chaos for other users, and they challenge the other dogs, which is not safe, especially if you have a small child with you or you have limited mobility. Now, at these fenced-in areas, there's a lot of loitering. People stand around chatting, and their dogs just kind of run amok, and nobody's picking up after them. If you try to walk the perimeter of the fence, you will be followed by basically a pack of dogs that are not yours, which creates a bit of a chaotic walk. Not to mention you're dealing with the other things mentioned, such as the territoriality and the aggressive humpers and all those other horrible learned behaviors. So my problem that affected us personally, people just randomly treat dogs, like give out treats. And our dog had an allergic reaction and gastro issues to it, which led to my dog's distress and a fairly large vet bill. I wasn't excited about that. That could have been totally prevented. You ask. You don't give children treats randomly, so you shouldn't give other people's dogs treats either. And most importantly, they do have one area that is not fenced in. It's called Nose Hill Park. However, it takes over 3,000 to 4,000 steps to reach that off-leash area, depending on which entrance you use. It is not inclusive to all. A lot of people can't make it up those hills to reach the off-leash area. There is a higher impact to wildlife in those areas because the majority of the deer hang out in that upper field. Now, we all know that porcupine and skunk encounters are huge in Nose Hill. It's almost unavoidable. There's also the issue with the fact that the pathways in a lot of these areas, it's just bramble and thistles and sharp natural growth, which leads to cuts, ripped toenails, and injury. It's not suitable in the summer for those who need to walk when it's cool because the coyotes are usually out dusk and dawn. There's a lot of sketchy individuals up there. Like, if anyone has walked alone as a woman, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of drug use as well, especially when the kids are out of school. And there's intimidation from bikes. Really, really aggressive bikers, and they swear at you if you don't get out of the way fast enough, even when you're on leash. Definitely not a safe area for females walking alone. There is no cell service in that dog area. You cannot even receive text messages. Also, there's really nowhere to rest due to the red ants. The minute your dog sits down, you're covered. You're covered in red ants. And mosquito season is not exactly ideal for walking in that area. So again, I plead with the counselors, with the mayor, with parks, Mr. Joyner, with bylaw, please allow us to use Aurora Park. Now, Aurora Park works. Breeders and trainers will tell you that not having a fence and having multiple paths removes that territoriality. Also, there's multiple scents in the area, so the dogs don't become boss of that area, challenging other dogs. There's accessibility. There's multiple pathways to walk to suit the individual. If you need a lower area, if you want the higher ground, if you see a dog that you just don't want to interact with, it is very easy to take another path and avoid interaction. The great thing about this area, it's monitored by the citizens that use it. They clean up, even though it's not their own. However, I do have to say this winter has been a disaster, and during the pandemic, there has been too many irresponsible dog owners that just do not pick up after their pets. I also want to address the fact that it creates a community. There's a lot of people that have been using this area, this Aurora Park, for over 20 plus years, and they know each other because of the walking environment. No aggression due to the fact that it is not a bike path, so no bike aggression. Bikers that go through that area are a little bit more relaxed and a lot more accommodating. It is safe for solo walkers. There is cell service and visibility. No matter where you are in the park, you can see other individuals, which provides a comfort, a safety zone. Also, I do feel the long-term users of this area feel like stewards of this area. We want to take care of it. We want to see it in good condition because we would like the temporary use of Aurora Park. Now, there are several groups trying to encourage the city of Calgary to allow us temporary use, including Save Nose Creek, which is led by Andrew Yule, and you can follow him on Twitter. It is also Treaty 7 land, and we would love to seek permission from the Blackfoot elders. However, I was informed by the city of Calgary that calling something Treaty 7 land is more of just like a courtesy. They actually have no power, which was really disappointing to find out. This area is also considered marshland by the Great Canadian Shoreline. So there is a stretch of land that will never be allowed to be built on. There are several environmental groups that want to see this area protected for the wildlife that uses it, including really fascinating bird species, wild plants, and native weeds, not weeds, but, natural growth to the area. I think that the city of Calgary is avoiding granting us temporary use of this land because they're afraid that if they ever wanted to build on this land, they would not be able to ask us to leave, which I don't see that as a feasible reason. Recently, 2 days ago, they reinstalled signs to say no trespassing. However, I have been informed that bylaw has no jurisdiction in this area, and we actually have our own police officers that run their dogs in this area. So how are we supposed to navigate this? I guess that's my question. How are we supposed to have a great area that is so positive, that offers exercise and a social environment without pissing off the city of Calgary? However, furthermore, I have to say, the city of Calgary denies that they own that land. So when you dig deeper into the real estate side, they do own that land, but yet they say, oh no, it's Aurora Business Park land, which is City of Calgary land. It's very confusing. We're just not sure how to move forward on this. We want to do another cleanup, which the City of Calgary and councillors supported last year. Including bylaw, they supplied the material to clean up that area. So if they're going to supply and support a cleanup, why are we not allowed temporary use? That's my little thought bubble. If anyone has any ideas, please comment and post below, or contact Andrew Yule. He seems to be making some really good headway. I really don't know what else to do. I forgot one more thing. Calgary University Archaeology Program was out in the fall surveying the land. Now, they believe that it was used by the Indigenous people, and they claim they can see where their teepees were and whatnot. And I don't know how much that will help going forward. However, I do know that the most recent owner of that area, aside from Aurora Business Park, City of Calgary, was a farmer. And he used it as pasture land. And he moved a bunch of rocks to basically make the land more accessible for his livestock. So I'm not too sure how this all plays out. And I guess I'm trying mentally to figure out who to contact, because I feel like we're always passed around. Like, I was an off-leash ambassador for the area to try and bring awareness to the problems in the fenced areas and to get permission to use this open area. However, it went nowhere. 7 years of data. 7 years of data did nothing. So I am open to any suggestions, any contacts. Please let me know, or contact Andrew Yule. Thank you.